Alright, it's on. I've jump scared Shelby.
It's on.
It's on. It's on.
It's on.
Like Donkey Kong, a Mario movie
No,
reference. Call back to
no,
episode 1.
no, no.
Hello everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the Goblins Gaming and Gaffing podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Shelby's urethra, as promised.
Yeah.
How's it doing, Shelby? Functioning fully?
Yeah, it's doing pretty well. I'd like to talk to you about Makuchi.
But
You want to talk about Makuchi?
this is... you are trying to get me to say the thing.
You don't want to talk about Makuchi?
He's gonna keep doing it until I say it. Until I say it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen, Kate Makuchi. She's
What?
not gonna come on the podcast. I'm sorry.
Were you trying to bait me to say what's Makuchi?
No, I kept saying it through like the whole week. We gotta talk about Makuchi.
We gotta talk about. I don't even know who that is.
You know, you have Uno.
Hold on.
It's Sadie, Steven Universe.
Oh, that's how you say her name?
Yeah, Makuchi.
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was pronounced like that. I thought you were trying to do like an advanced like, hey, do you want to talk about Sugma?
Sugma?
Oh, so I thought you were doing a bit where it's like, Juju, I'm gonna get him with the Makuchi.
Yeah, she was like having a kid, and she was talking to Conan about like, yeah, but maybe like Phil for a name, like Phil Makuchi.
That's good.
I forget the other ones. But I watched. I'm on Ducktales. I
Larry,
recently
I'm on
watched
DuckTales.
DuckTales. I watched all of season 1. I'm on season 2 right now. And Kate Makuchi plays Webby in it, and I just finished Steven Universe, and she plays Sadie in that, and she's the new Velma, but not the Velma, the Scooby-Doo Velma.
Yeah. Also, Shelby, I'm doing audio fixing in the middle of the podcast.
Oh, that's great.
You're a little quiet.
Okay.
On the sound bar, so I turned you up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
Listeners, get ready.
Listeners, get ready. Shelby's gonna go to like 5 million, and there's a dog to prove it.
My dogs have been silent this entire day. This entire day.
What's funny is that my dogs have been loud all day, and now they've gotten quiet.
Well,
Well,
dog madness.
dog
Anyway,
madness.
I love Webby. And I want to talk about DuckTales for 20 minutes on the pod. Is that okay?
That's fine. I don't know anything about DuckTales, the new one. I don't know anything about DuckTales, the old one. I know the moon theme from the NES DuckTales goes hard, and that's it.
So I'm watching the new one, and I'm very mad because I was gonna watch it on Disney Plus, but Disney Plus, for whatever reason, isn't just working on browser. And
You know what else isn't working on browser?
Amazon,
Twitter is what I was gonna say.
Twitter.
Yeah. You see that whole two-factor authentication? I'm cutting you off of DuckTales immediately. I'm kidding. But yeah, two-factor authorization is now limited to Twitter Blue, unless you want to do it through the stupid Google Authenticator app. Pay $8 for text message. Anyways, DuckTales.
I had a prepared statement because I knew you were gonna talk about Elon Musk, and I was trying to look for a meme, and I thought I found a meme, but I was just like really dyslexic, and it wasn't an Elon Musk. It was just like some other dude with like an EW name, Shelby.
EW?
Yeah, because his last name started with a W. I was like, oh, Musk.
Elon Musk.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.
Larry, I'm on DuckTales.
But yeah, so I had to watch season 1 on YouTube because YouTube had a better quality version than Disney Plus.
I heard about that. I don't know if that was through you or Twitter, but
It was for me.
okay.
Also, when I started season 2, because it's not on YouTube, all of the captions, like, more than like half of the captions were just off screen. I could only see half of them. So I'm having the worst DuckTales experience of my life.
The DuckTales experience, how it should be done.
Yeah. I really like Launchpad, I really like Webby. Um, they put gay people in it.
No way.
Lin-Manuel Miranda is in it, and it makes me
Well,
mad.
he's in My Little Pony too, and some other
Yeah.
third thing. It's fine.
Some other mysterious third thing.
Some other mysterious third thing.
Um, and I think watching new Disney is weird because I can't tell where the business execs are forcing shit into it. Because it's obviously having issues balancing like silly funny cartoon with like mystery heavy story arcing cartoon. And I can't tell what business execs are pushing into it because DuckTales is like funny animal Disney show, and I think Gravity Falls and Starverse influenced a lot of shit at Disney. So I can't tell if the Disney was like, you need to be like Gravity Falls, you need to have a fucking
Mystery!
you need to have a mystery to get the older kids interested, or if the showrunners are like, oh yeah, DuckTales, that would be so easy to do like a super cool mystery. And Disney's company's like, you need to have Donald Duck fall on his face 50 times or you're fired.
Yeah.
um,
Um, I need. I feel like it has to be the former, and they just don't know because, like, look at Bluey. Bluey, like,
Bluey,
is like liked
Bluey
by people.
rules.
People like Bluey, even if it isn't like, even if they aren't autistic. Um,
Even if it's not like, I don't want to say pandering, even if it's not appealing to an older audience, you know?
yeah, it's still enjoyed by an older audience because it's just dumb fun. There's just
Mm-hmm.
cute ideas. It's a cute show. Um, as opposed to say something like Caillou, where it's like just an annoying, obnoxious rat. It's just
Kill him.
a loving family that loved. It's probably the best like baby show that's ever been made. Like
Yeah,
I don't think there's ever been anything specifically targeted towards babies that hasn't been completely in your face, annoying and awful.
yeah,
Bluey is just like, this is something I can see my family doing. Like, I could see myself being in that position as a kid or as a father. Voice crack. Yeah,
I
I'm
had some
gonna
voice cracks over the weekend. I was like,
testosterone.
um,
Uh, but yeah, I feel like Disney execs probably went like, uh, let's just we need a mystery or we need Donald Duck falling everywhere, depending on what direction the writers went. Yeah.
I think also because it was just so weird because the comedy's really good. It holds up and it satisfies for a while. So it's not like they had room to explore more serious, quote unquote, storylines. And that's kind of why I don't like to listen to fandom about modern cartoons
Mm-hmm.
because they're like, "Oh, it's so there's like such good plot." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's like 5 minutes of plot in like 40 hours of just like nothing."
Larry,
And
I'm
I
on
love
Ducktales.
I Larry, I'm on DuckTales. And I like filler. I think a lot of people just like, why don't you like filler? It's fun. I get
Yeah.
if it's like if there's a horrible like urgency prioritizing like, oh, let's go to the mall. Oh. And it's just like a whole episode of that after you fucking fought a war or something.
Yeah. Or in
But
the case of Steven Universe, where it's like really, really long periods of time for episode batches, and then
yeah,
half or all of those episodes are filler episodes, and there's nothing done at all. Ronaldo just kills Steven. That's the end of the batch, and then we had to wait 9 months.
yeah. I think also binging Steven Universe has made me come around on a lot of episodes, and I think it's because of the Steven bombs.
It's
It's like oh, these aren't so bad when you wait fucking
Yeah,
5 months for them.
yeah. It's I mean that's how I felt. Is it like I fell off of Steven Universe because of the Stephen bombs. I was like,
Hmm.
this sucks. I hate this. Nothing's being done. I think I stopped at the episode where Ronaldo was gonna kill Steven. I'm like, this is out of hand. This is stupid.
Ronaldo,
There's nothing happening.
especially when like, cause that was like when Teen Titans was starting to take over,
Yeah.
and like they're starting to treat anyone else that wasn't on Teen Titans like shit.
Yeah.
So you're putting all that effort into those episodes, and you're like overworking people for fucking Rock Naldo.
It's yeah.
I had to skip that episode like fully. I couldn't do it.
We should do a special episode of the podcast if we ever start a Patreon where it's just us watching Rocknaldo.
Yeah.
Um or Rocknaldo commentary track.
Yeah. But DuckTales, it's all really good. It's just fighting itself, and it's sad that
Mm-hmm.
it has to do that. But I wanted to talk about the characters. Uh,
Do you
do I know
actually
their names?
do you actually know the difference between Huey, Dewey, and Louie? Can you tell me right now, this second?
I don't. I can't put their
Give
names together.
Give me one aspect of the characters Huey, Dewey, and Louie. One character trait each.
That's what I wanted to talk about. In the old one, they're kind of like all the
A
same.
hive mind, yeah.
But in the new one, they have these archetypes that are kind of basic, and it's interesting to watch it side by side with Steven Universe because it's kind of like the same, like the smart one, the bold, adventurous one, the lazy one that eats food, and Webby is kind of just like an excitable, like just she's the exposition at
Mm-hmm.
first
Yeah.
because she's like, "Oh my god, I'm such a huge fan of Scrooge McDuck. I'm gonna tell you literally everything about him." And the Ducktales are like, "Yes." Hmm.
Yes.
From now on, I will be calling the nephews the Ducktales.
The DuckTales.
um,
I didn't even realize that you did that.
yeah. But over time, they kind of get a lot better, and I think, like, especially with the green one, he's
The
just
current one.
he's supposed to be like lazy. He's like, "Oh, you guys check out the adventure. I'm gonna check out the sandwiches." And he slowly became more of like a con man of like, "I'm gonna talk my way out of this. I'm gonna plan, a heist or some shit." And something super little happens, but I think it's really telling of like good characters is even when it's not a huge plot moment, they all react differently and they all react in character. It's not just like, oh, the lazy one doesn't care, the smart one, you know, just like, actually, the science of it, and like the bold one isn't ready to fight it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like, I had an example, and that was like on Thursday.
We were, yeah, for context, we set up for Thursday nights as podcast recordings. And then I had a family emergency and also exams.
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of which, it's Monday when we're recording this. It'll probably be out Monday night. Same day we record this. But, it's exam week for me, and I have to take 4 exams, and I took 1 today. I studied for 12 hours last night.
Yippee.
All yesterday was just studying. So, this is why this podcast is coming out a little more than a week. Hopefully over the summer it will stabilize, but who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
But yeah, they all have like different reactions. And usually in shows, especially with like cartoons and stuff, people know what characters' actions are. Like, you know, brain, brain, brain.
Brain.
Like, we know that Pearl does Pearl shit because she's Pearl, but it's harder to get characters to react to things in character or at all. So it's really cool to see when people actually know their characters enough to react more accurately to where their characters are. Also, I just love Webby. I'm gonna talk about Webby for 5 hours.
DuckTales.
She was like the girl character who was expositioning and good at everything magically, which usually is bad, but Kate Micucci's voice is so addictive.
She's so good.
And she's so expressive, and she's literally like bouncing off the walls. And she has like an arc with like an older girl named Lena, and they keep saying best friend. She's my best friend. Don't touch my best friend. No.
Funny. You know they wanted to make her a lesbian. I'm surprised they didn't let okay, I can see not letting Donald Duck or Huey, Dewey, or Lewis be Huis, Dewis, and Lewis, not letting them be gay or any of the other DuckTales, but like the new one, you make a new character for DuckTales that's a woman.
Yeah, like it's just like a lesbian incarnate.
Shelby, do you ever plan on watching The Owl House or Amphibia or any of these?
That's what I was thinking, because I was like, I wanted to watch DuckTales for a while, and I'll probably watch old DuckTales as well.
Yeah.
But Owl House and Amphibia doesn't interest me for the same reason that DuckTales is, like, not interesting, is because it's having such a hard time being a funny cartoon and being a serious, like, mystery drama.
I just feel like Gravity Falls was lightning in a bottle. I feel like they hit it right the first time. Now they're trying to catch that again. You know, like how they did with Hannah Montana.
Mm-hmm.
And like iCarly, like everybody did that. Like it was always this like contest of like, we need to do this because like iCarly's or Disney's reaction to iCarly was to make what was it called, Sunny with a Chance, and then Disney or Nickelodeon's response to Hannah Montana was to make Victorious. So it's like it feels like now we're in this age where Disney is fighting against itself now instead, because it's like
also
we
weird
made
because I think Alex Hirsch, like, he planned it out a lot longer, and he like it's the same with like a lot of cartoons. Like Avatar was fully planned out, and a lot of these good cartoons were planned for a really long time, and they expect showrunners to have that same kind of like, what is it called? Preparedness, I guess. And
preparation.
I also like preparation. I also think Starverse is kind of Starverse is weird because they let women be women, and it was fun, and it was a brave thing, but now they're not allowed to be any other type of female.
Yeah.
They have to be the exact same, like, random, hyper expressive, which is great, but like, man,
all women characters, all teenage girls are this now, or are a total bitch, one or the other.
Yeah.
It can't be anything else.
And so when a female showrunner like Dana Terrence makes something, I forget who the Amphibia showrunner is, but they get put into you're a girl cartoon because female showrunner, female protagonist, you're a girl show now.
Yeah, it's bad. I still have no interest in watching The Owl House because every single person I've met who tells me about The Owl House is annoying.
Yeah.
No offense if you're an Owl House fan. We've lost another set of people who will watch our podcast.
It's over.
It's over.
We lost the Joe Roganers.
We lost
the Elon Muskers.
We lost the Owl Housers. Um, I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's great. If I were to watch one, it'd be Amphibia, but I would want Amphibia just to be like Gravity Falls without the like episodicness to it.
Mm.
I wouldn't want there to be an overarching story for Amphibia, but there is for some reason.
Which is why Infinity Train is so weird, because it kind of it's an episodic idea of like, oh, all the different trains, but it's a mini series.
Yeah.
And it's condensed all its story elements into the mini series, and it still got canceled.
Yeah.
So what the fuck do they want?
Well, that's that might be my fault specifically because I didn't watch Infinity Train, but also it was behind.
It's your fault.
It's my fault, but also it was behind HBO Max, and I don't want that.
HBO Max.
Yeah, so I don't really care. It's just strange. It's a strange thing that they always want something, but we never know what. They want Gravity Falls too, but Alex Hirsch is not doing that. The only thing they're getting.
Really, what would you do?
I don't know.
That's why I don't like people who say things got canceled when it has a definitive ending.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, it ended, dude. It's over.
I don't. I'm going to talk about this for 2 hours. I'm not kidding.
I think
I can't talk about media consumption.
I think a Gravity Falls movie could be good.
It would be fun.
I think
they have to come back.
They have to come back. Well, I mean, they go back
like,
every year.
Yeah,
every
I think
holiday.
it'd be funny if like a real world person like grabbed the the statue that's in the park somewhere, and they have to come to the real world. And they come to real life New York City. Alex Hirsch.
No, they meet a police officer, and then it becomes a buddy cop movie.
Yeah.
And Dipper's really cool about cops out of nowhere. He's like, Mabel, this guy's a high-ranking officer. I love officers. I love the police, Mabel. I love police.
It's James Marsden from Sonic and Hop.
Sonic and Hop. Sonic
and Enchanted.
Did you see that they're doing Knuckles, and he's like,
oh, I thought you were gonna say Hop 3.
They're doing Hop 3. There was a second one?
I don't know. I don't know why my brain said Hop 3.
Hop 3. They're making a Knuckles TV series, and he's helping that one really awful cop. And it's going to be propaganda, and I'm gonna scream. Because, like, the Sonic movies are already really propaganda.
Okay.
It's fine. It's like whatever. They don't
don't
really say that the cops are cool, but he's still like, Sonic wants to be a cop, and I'm like, I don't know.
Can I talk about first of all, they gave the cop a black wife.
Yeah.
Second of all, can I talk about black cops in media? There's a lot of them. Ghostbusters had one. Ghostbusters, the female version, had one.
No, are we qualified to talk about this?
I need so much hours to just list them all.
I wish we had like a producer right now, because are we qualified? Producer Denny.
But it's so weird that that's a trope.
Yeah. It's weird that they're like, look, black cop. I mean, spoilers for Lucifer, I guess.
Wow.
Spoilers for Lucifer.
Lost the Lucifers.
We've lost the Lucifers. Well, no. They're called.
We lost the devil worshippers.
They're called Lucifans, Shelby.
Oh, okay.
And no, the Lucifans will stay because I'm talking about this. Watermelon. I had a bowl of watermelon before I did this, and I've been burpy. I don't know why. Anyways, there's an episode. There's like an overarching plot in the final season where they talk about how cops are bad, even though it's a cop show about like God, also, and they're already pretty funny about God. Because they actively like insult God to his face. It's funny.
Yeah.
But there's like a whole thing where like not Abdiel, no, what's his name? Amenadiel. Abdiel's the lady from Shin Megami Tensei. What?
I keep almost saying Zab, my D&D character's full name.
Yeah, Amenadiel, like, becomes a cop. He's an angel, and he becomes a cop. And he's black. He's played by a black actor. And there's this whole thing where, like, there's a previous plot line where, like, he, like, was, like, befriending this kid, this black teenager, and then the black teenager gets killed by a cop. I think. I don't remember. He dies. Yeah, he dies to a cop. That was the whole thing. It was like police violence. Even though he was completely innocent and wasn't doing anything wrong. And then Amenadiel joins the police force and meets the cop who like verbally abused the kid. And it's like this, and then it's like Lucifer, I know what I have to do. I have to change the police, Lucifer, from the inside.
What?
With my angel powers.
What?
And I was like, okay, that's a little funny. It was like he's just like, I'm gonna work systematically, bit by bit, to make the world better.
Angels would do that shit.
Angels would do that.
Bureaucrats.
And I was just sitting here and I'm like, Lucifer's spoilers again. Lucifer's about to take the seat of God. He's about to take the throne of God.
No.
Literally, just have him change the police.
Oh no.
And Ash made the argument that violates free will in a way, and I'm like, sure. And that does abide by the rules of the show, but that's stupid. And but they have like this whole episode about like black cops and like how they can't get positions of power, and they want to, if the one character's like, if I'm not a beat cop and it's all white people, they're gonna send me to some place where like I am not doing anything if I get a higher position, so I don't take the higher position to stay a beat cop for 20 years. It's a whole thing, and I was just like, eh. I kind of wish we would have more fuck the police, but whatever.
I'm glad Supernatural didn't get too political.
I think Lucifer takes a good stance.
A gay person.
They had a gay person. They had a gay person at the end that got sent to super hell.
No, there was like a not an NPC, Shelby. They had like a couple of gay hunters one episode.
Funny.
God in Supernatural pissed me off because it was just some white guy.
Oh, that's so funny. Did I tell you who plays God in Lucifer?
Is it Chuck?
No, it's the Supernatural, or not the Supernatural. It's the guy from Allstate, the black guy.
Let's go.
The guy who goes like, Allstate.
Okay.
He does such a good job. He's like so funny. He's like, this is his whole thing, like where he goes like senile. Like God's going senile and he's retiring.
God's going green.
And like he goes to shake hands with the guy who slept with his wife. Long story. God, one of the characters was sleeping with God's wife. Don't worry about it. He like shakes hands with the guy and he just instantly explodes. Like he just bursts immediately. And then like God immediately resets that. And it's like, it's one of the funniest bits ever. It's like, God's just really funny and just a little guy in Lucifer.
The only reason I fell off is because it probably lost a lot of its budget, and so it was just kind of people pretending to be angels and demons and talking about how bad it might be if something goes wrong. It's like, if you're doing this, you will enact another war for 1,000 years. I'm like, wow, it's so bad you're talking about it for like 15 minutes. Whoa. Scary.
That's funny because Lucifer has the opposite happen to it, where like the budget just gets better.
Mm-hmm.
It still looks a little cheesy, but like there's like a whole like angel battle in the air at the end of season 5.
That's cool.
Little nitpick by the way. Um, Lucifer claims the throne of God at the end of season 5, and he says, "Oh my me," and I hated that. It was the last line of season 5, and I was like, ugh. I audibly grimaced.
There's an actor in Supernatural. He's like Metatron. He's like the scribe of God,
Oh yeah.
and he's played by like a. I don't think he's Jewish, but he's like looks like a stereotypical like Hollywood Jewish person,
Oh wow.
and it's a little funny because he just like casually says like Jewish slang, just like for like you know terminology.
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, he's in iCarly, and he's the guy that sells pirate movies. And I have a game theory that that's Metatron. I think we lost all of our of our listeners.
We've lost all of them. It's just an echo chamber now.
Yeah.
I think I even scared off Ash with my Lucifer takes. We got nobody
It's
now.
over.
It's over.
We can spin the wheel.
You can spin the wheel. Unless you want to talk about DuckTales more.
I need to talk about Ducktales. I just need to talk about Ducktales.
Spin the wheel.
Oh, look at that. It's Ducktales.
Oh, look at that. It says DuckTales on the wheel. Shelby then proceeded to show that he spun a wheel saying all DuckTales for 50 options.
What? Oh, it says Gollum. I was trying to remember what I was referencing. It says DuckTales on the ceiling. Can you be best buds with your boss?
No.
No.
No, unless you work for like a really small indie company.
Mm-hmm.
If you're like working in like a game design company and you start a company with your friend and they're the CEO and you're just like the co-CEO or like whatever, then like sure, yeah. Or if you like work like a management position with your buddy and like your friend's the manager and you're like a developer, then like sure, yeah, you're already friends, but there's still gonna be a rift. If you just meet like Jeff, like from like Jeff, your manager, at like working at like a gas station, no, you're not gonna be friends.
Same with film. You could be friends with the director, but even then, it depends on where you're at. If you're the AD, you're very close to them. If you're not, don't talk to them. You can talk to them afterwards.
Yeah, directors are like constantly busy.
Yeah, but I got a job at a retail store, and I'm always very cautious with quote unquote chill young managers.
No, can I say this if I'm looking for a job right now?
No.
I'm talking about a previous work experience. I think I could say this. I got food poisoning on the busiest day of working at my previous job. It's like the busiest day of the year. I think it was like Black Friday.
Oh.
I got food poisoning and I was scheduled to work. And I sent him a voicemail at 4 a.m. and said, "Hey man, I'm puking in the toilet." And I got a call back of him just yelling at me. And I just hung up.
Yeah.
I was like, no, I'm not doing that. And like, I never got an apology. But he did act buddy and chill with me because I think he was afraid I was going to go to HR. Which was funny. But he's like, dude, he was like, dude, it's literally the busiest day of the year. You're going to skip out on me like this. And I'm like, I'm puking, dude. What do you want from me?
I don't understand. I've said this like 20 times this week because shit keeps going down. But I don't understand how people function.
Yeah.
I don't understand how people view illness, chronic illness, whatever.
Yeah, it's
And like they say shit like that's an excuse.
yeah.
Nobody, it's a reason.
No, it's yeah. If you get like migraines and like stuff like IBS, it's like, dude.
Like having teachers constantly be on my shit, even though I got straight A's,
Yeah.
and like, what do you want? I'm doing better than the kids that are here every single day.
Yeah.
I've had a teacher lean down, whisper in my ear, if you miss another class, like, I'm going to, like, fuck your shit up. I don't know what she said. Something teachery,
Yeah.
but just, like, threatening me.
And that doesn't that just makes you not want to go to their class even more.
Yeah.
That
Also,
doesn't help.
She was a health teacher.
Ugh.
Who gives a shit? She would also look at me while talking about, like, gender and sexuality. And that was
Great.
before I was out. And it
Wow.
pissed me off.
Funny. Yeah. It's just I will never ever be friends with a manager. I'll be friends with coworkers. I'll be buddy buddy. Managers make more money than me and hold that over my head.
And they don't. I shouldn't say that.
I know what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can say it. You're like.
I will never get hired again. I'll get a background check.
Yeah. They're
Um,
like, you're on a stupid podcast with puppets?
that's funny.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did quote retweet someone like the union of the film writer union today going like, let's go. So I mean, if you look at my Twitter
A lot
account,
of unions lately.
yeah, if you look at my union, if you look at my Twitter post, my Twitter, you'll just see unions immediately. So like, you know, I'm pro union, and there's nothing they can do to stop that. If somebody messes with me, I'm going to unionize.
Yeah. But also, I don't know my rights at all. So I'm like terrified of people taking advantage of me. So I always like I like show my dad forms and like, do you see anything silly in here? Ap- Applying for jobs has been a little silly lately because they're getting kind of creative with how they ask if you're disabled or not.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
At an interview, I was asked if I was introverted or extroverted.
Lie.
Yeah.
Always lie to your management and people hiring you. It doesn't matter. They will hire you expecting the best, and then you can tell them all your disabilities, and they can't fire you. It's discrimination.
Yeah. And they asked, can you lift 40 pounds every day without accommodation? Can you get on a ladder without accommodation? They kept saying accommodation. And I'm like, oh, disability.
So,
disability.
if I was in your position and you still wanted to work at that place, which I wouldn't with your disabilities, I would say yes, and then give them the forms for your disabilities and say no.
Yeah.
Because then they literally can't fire you. They might make your life a living hell, though, but if you that's every job.
Which sucks when you're told never to lie ever on anything.
Yeah.
Or you'll die forever.
Yeah. Oh, I love lying. I lie all the time.
I dropped a Crush bar. I brought in a Crush bar to the movie theater, and I dropped it, and I was so afraid I didn't go back for it.
What?
I just kept walking. I was so scared.
What do you mean you dropped a Crunch bar?
I dropped the Crush bar at the movie theater, and I was so scared. I didn't pick it up. I kept walking.
Why were you scared of picking it back up? Did you not want to sell someone a floor Crunch bar?
No, they were gonna get me for bringing in a Crush bar.
Oh, that's what you meant. I thought you were talking about when you like volunteered at that movie theater.
No.
And you were like carrying Crunch bars.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I will do the like a courtesy like sweet tea bottle in my pocket. Like I still won't bring in like a full meal just out of courtesy of like the workers. Um, but yeah, I don't care anymore about
Yeah.
movie theaters. They don't give a
Oh,
shit.
yeah, no, they don't. They don't care. You can literally just walk into a movie theater without tickets. At least my local
Mm-hmm.
theater. They don't have anybody checking tickets or anything. You could probably bring in a backpack and they wouldn't care.
Mm-hmm.
But still, we get creative and we'll probably use like Ash's Purge next time we go, which is actually coming up. I don't know what we're gonna watch. We usually watch a movie every anniversary.
Dungly Dragon?
Dungly Dragons. I don't know. It's up to them. I picked them. Well, did I pick the movie? I guess I picked the movie. Mario movie was kind of unanimous between the both of us.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's no more gamer movies.
There's no more gamer movies. It's only Spider-Verse next month. Next month? Yeah. June?
Are you guys gonna see Barbie?
When is Barbie?
Like in June?
Maybe.
That's
I
I watched all the movies.
You watched
and
all the
then
movies.
and then all I have left is Barbie and Spider-Verse.
Um we also have gotten into painting pottery. That's another activity. We haven't gotten it back. We'll get it back this Friday because it has to fire it in the kiln. But it was only like $20 to paint a little hedgehog, and like Ash painted a little controller thingy. It's only $20, which is pretty good. There's this fun little thing, all paint included with the purchase of the thing.
Yeah.
It's neat, fun experience. I enjoyed it. I was a little hesitant at first because I thought it was going to be boring, but then my brain's like, paint this hedgehog like Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm like, yes, yes.
Speaking of work, I almost worked at like a wine and paint
Oh, let's go.
place. And obviously I had to like be for like kids paints because I couldn't like actually sell wine or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I go in and they're like, "Are you okay with doing camps?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure. Are they here at this location? Because it's near my house." And they're like, "No, it's like 15 minutes south, and it's a tent outside,
No.
and
No.
you'll be standing all day with kids." And I'm like, And they said the pay was like whatever, like 12 an hour plus tips. Who tips their camp counselors?
No one.
So I'm like, okay, I'll see you guys later.
It's
And then they went out of business.
funny.
So
I have a... Can I talk about this? I don't see why not. I'm helping with a local STEM camp soon. And it's only high school kids, so it's like, dude, like some people were like, oh, you're gonna be with kids? Don't you not like kids? And I'm like, dude, it's STEM kids. These are nerds. If I wear a Full Metal Alchemist t-shirt, they're gonna herald me as a god. I wear the Legend of Zelda and cargo shorts fit. They're gonna like start building monuments to me out of like Legos. It's fine.
I think people don't understand how easy it is for Gen Z to get along with kids.
Yeah.
Like, we all may hate them, but like we don't feel the need to like exert so much energy into doing like a baby voice or anything.
No, I just talk to kids like normal.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?
What's up, kid?
Oh, you got it's this crayon." Mm-hmm.
Well, also it's like teenagers, so who cares? They're like grade 9 to 12, so whatever.
I think teenagers are a little scary
Mm-hmm.
because you don't. Sometimes they just like say some random pop culture thing, but they have a different view on it, and it's scary.
Like American Psycho.
Yeah, or like I can't think of like a good example, or like just they have a different view on weebs because all they see is the TikTok memes. They don't know the true weebs.
Wait, what do they think weebs are?
They just think of the TikToks of like, "Ooh," and they're like those
Huh.
like just weird like cosplayers.
That's what they think weebs are?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I feel so old.
Old. It
Old!
doesn't. I usually just don't feel old about stuff. Like when people post like well, Ice Age was shown
Yeah.
21 years ago. I'm like, yeah, that's 2000, my guy.
It's when I stop understanding what like people around me are talking about because they're like younger than me is when I'm like, oh god, I'm turning old. But then
I
I've always been the person that's into like niche hyperfixations. Like from like 7th grade to 9th grade, my hyperfixation was Xenoblade Chronicles 1. No one around me was playing that.
mm-hmm.
Also, shout outs to the background and what we threw this episode around. Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Anyways.
Shut up.
Shut up! Nobody say anything about Future Redeemed yet. I haven't finished it.
Everyone, get in the comments.
Get in the comments. Talk about it. Tell me exactly how Shulk dies immediately. It's just funny when I like hear kids talk about like something and I'm like, oh god, what is that? What is that thing?
What is that? Who is that?
Did I tell you the story about the One Piece GalaxyCon panel?
No.
Okay. So, Ash and I went to GalaxyCon in Richmond, Virginia, like a month ago now, I think. Maybe 2. And we were going to see a One Piece panel because I like One Piece and Ash liked one of the voice actors that was in the panel. It was like the English voice cast doing a thing. And there was like One Piece cosplayers filling this entire room, and we were all sitting there, and oh, I'm gonna burp again. Die. We were all sitting there, waiting, and then like a bunch of people, like this woman comes on and starts hyping us up, and we're like, all right, yeah, we're excited, and she's like, let me introduce guy you've never heard of,
Huh?
and we were like, who is this? And then
Key and Peele.
Key and Peele. And like, so like these 3 people come up and they like started talking about Canadian animation.
What?
And we were all like, everybody realized like, did we go to the wrong room? So like 75% of the room got up and left.
Huh?
And then we looked, and the One Piece panel had been rescheduled to 8 in the morning.
And they
Didn't inform
didn't
anybody.
tell you it?
And nobody was informed of this. Sorry,
Oh,
not
those
8 a.m.,
poor
10
people.
a.m. Yeah, it was for some... The reason I bring this up is because it was for some TV show I don't even remember. Like, so, and then, like, I openly said to Ash, like, what the fuck is this? What is the fuck is this show? And then this person was like 15, looked at me and was like, oh, it's blah blah blah, the daughter of blah 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 blah, and she goes on adventures and does all this stuff, and I'm like, what?
Huh?
What are you talking about? And she said the exact same sentence again, and I'm like, what? And she said it again, and I was like, oh, okay, I know what you're talking about now, and then I walked away because I didn't know. I didn't want to ask. I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I feel bad, but like, it must have sucked to have been those people, but I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
How did they get like a whole ass panel?
I don't know. I'd never heard of this before.
I don't even know.
Like,
All I can think of is Total Drama Island.
I don't know. They said something about Canadian animation, and then we started to realize, like, this is not Stephanie Young. This is not who we came here for. Was it Stephanie Young? Hold on. I have to know.
Jamie, pull it up.
Jamie, pull it up. Yeah, Stephanie Young. I was right. Robin's voice actor that Ash likes for another role that I forget. But anyways, yeah, it was funny, to say the least, because like I heard like I had a group of guys fully in cosplay of like the Luffy, Ace, and like Law, and like the Law just goes, man, fuck this shit.
Oh my god.
It was so funny.
I haven't been to a convention in a while, and like, I think I'm good.
I love conventions. They're so funny.
Other than like the art, I'm good.
I love Artist Alley. We went to. This is the first time I had ever really gone to events at a con because Ash wanted to. I usually just kind of didn't. There's a Star Trek panel I went to. There was like people I saw. I saw. I stood like really close to like two voice actors. Because Ash got like signed pictures of them, and it got signed like autographs of like the same picture for some anime I'd never seen, Maid-sama.
I have Disneyland brain.
Mm-hmm.
So when I go to conventions, I'm like, do not go to like any like celebrities because it's a long line. Because my brain thinks long line bad. Go to other stuff.
Funny. No, it's go to the thing that you want to see.
Yeah,
all the short lines are gonna be like. All the short lines are gonna be for like that guy. Oh, Shelby, I didn't tell you. I saw Kermit.
Kermit real.
Kermit was there.
He was there.
He was there. I didn't talk to him, but I wanted to talk to the guy, but I was like scared because I didn't know who he was. He was like a famous. He was a really popular puppeteer. He was a puppeteer. He's worked on stuff like The Labyrinth and stuff, so he's like old. But I didn't know who he was, and I was scared. But I wanted to see Kermit, and that was like it.
It wasn't his son, was it?
I don't know.
Henson.
I don't think it was Henson. It definitely wasn't Henson, but yeah, it was. I saw Kermit, and I'm like, oh man, I could have met Kermit. I could have shook hands with Kermit.
Yeah.
I would have paid. I would have paid like $20 to shake Kermit's hand.
I want to shake your hand.
He wasn't like animated or anything. He was just kind of sitting, but it was still like funny because it was like it was an official Kermit doll that they use. And that was cool to me.
I have a weird. Sometimes I remember I went to conventions, so I just have like a weird, like, celebrities that I've seen list.
Yeah.
I remember I took pictures with the Supernatural car, and I was just like a shy 13-year-old, and my dad was like, pick up the angel knife, and I was like, okay. And I picked it up, and I took a picture. And I just kind of like stood near it, and I didn't want to touch it, because like, I don't like, when you touch the car, it leaves like the footprints. I'm like, I don't want to do that to the car.
I don't want to do that to the car.
Dana's gonna come and kill me. And then I met Ralph Macchio because my dad ordered the convention tickets.
Oh yeah.
So he's like, I want to meet Ralph Macchio. So it's a picture of me and Ralph Macchio.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the Karate Kid.
Oh my god.
And then one time I went to Disneyland, and it was around VidCon, so it was when a lot of like YouTubers would go to VidCon.
Funny.
And I may have stalked Dodie, who's a just gay musician for 13-year-olds. And I was like, I give up. I'm never gonna meet her. Oh no. And I turned around and she was there, and I yelled, Dodie.
Oh my god.
And I scared her.
Aww.
And I was like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And we took a picture.
Aww.
I think that's all my celebrity stories.
I have never had a run-in with a celebrity, really. Yeah, I don't think I've met anybody like famous.
I really like how, like, if for some reason film took me to somewhere where like I met a huge star, fucking Samuel L. Jackson showed up on set, I think it'd be normal.
Hey, it's Samuel L. Jackson.
My professor made a feature film recently, and he's very close friends with the main actor he uses, and he uses him in a lot of skits that he does and all of that. And he's been showing him in class just because, like, just examples in class of his stuff. And so when I went to a screening of his film, I was like, oh my god, it's him!
It's him!
And like, me and my friends were so shy around. He's like, oh my god, he's right there. It's him.
It's him. It's the guy.
And like in the movie, he's like a piece of shit, just like just like a fucking dude.
God.
It was just so funny.
I feel like I would be normal around like if I saw like Dwayne the Rock Johnson, I'd be like, oh hey.
I would not be. I would attack him.
You know, it'd be like a, you know, okay, that's a guy. It's whatever.
I think I would cry if I saw Danny DeVito real.
Me too. I think if I saw Germa in real life, I would like my senses would heighten.
I would be so scared. I am terrified of ever meeting Germa.
You're the closest between the two of us to meeting Germa.
I know.
You could go to Las Vegas and just see him.
I think the worst part of like the scariest part of Germa baseball is that he could leave the state. He's not confined in Nevada.
Well,
He can escape.
He was originally from Massachusetts, Shelby.
Yeah, and I was from Maryland. He's following me.
He's just one state away. I mean, yeah, I would like, I would love to meet Germa, but at the same time, it'd be like scary. Yeah. Because like, how do I like? I feel like my brain would try to be funny, and my brain would also want to be like really emotional, and be like, dude, you're a huge inspiration to me, and you like helped me a lot through some hard times.
I feel like I would tell him, I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of scared of you, and he would like fucking whip his arms around like a fucking maniac.
He would like
cry.
He would like grit his teeth and like shove his head forward, and you like, huh, huh.
He would put his like fling his fingers at me.
What's that like Grinch gif, like the don't wind up the dog?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he'd do that. But yeah, my brain would be like, get a tape measure immediately, or tell him that he saved your life. I don't know which one.
Like if I tried to take a picture of me and you saw me, and I would be like just drenched in like sweat and my face would be red. Because I would just be like horrified that he's like he's probably like putting his arm around me, and I'm just like, get it off.
Don't let him touch me.
Evil.
But,
you know, he's like a mascot. I think that's what it is. Because I was scared of the Red Robin mascot for a while.
There's a Red Robin mascot?
Yes.
What was it?
He's in the restaurant.
What?
And he walks around the restaurant. I don't think he's there anymore.
Oh my god.
Thing.
Yeah, I never lived anywhere near. Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just got a picture of like a woman without like his head cut off. No. Can I get this on the screen?
I wasn't scared about
jump scare.
I wasn't scared about like Disneyland mascots because they were like nice, but for some reason, I think it's because like, you know, Chuck E. Cheese, they're on stage, they're contained, but like Red Robin, I'm just trying to enjoy my meal, and he's like lurking around the restaurant. It's terrifying.
I mean, yeah, I had that fear of like clowns specifically. Mm-hmm. Where like there's two kids in the world, kids that hate clowns and kids that love clowns, and the kids that love clowns are sociopaths.
Yeah.
Because I was walking through like a Texas Roadhouse or like a Logan's or something, and there was a clown at the end of the door.
What?
And he was like, they just had a clown because it was kids' night, I guess. And I was like, Mom, I don't want to see the clown. I don't want to see the clown. I don't want the clown to talk to me. I don't want the clown to see me. And he was like, he started turning around and looking at me, and I was like 5, and I started crying immediately. I was like, Mom, I don't want the clown to get near me, please. Mom, let the clown go away. And he just wanted to give me a balloon.
What are you gonna be a balloon?
I feel bad for clowns.
I feel like people don't understand. Like people think the fear of clowns is funny, but I don't think a lot of people experience clowns in real life.
Nobody understands clowns.
Cause like clowns in movies, it's like, oh, the clown is on the screen, but clowns in real life, it's like a guy.
It's a guy who like reeks of sweat.
Yeah.
He's like miserable. he has to deal with like snotty nosed kids all day.
Mm-hmm.
They're climbing all over him. He has to make balloons. His hands are probably calloused. Clowns just like exude this aura of miserableness.
Yeah. And like when you're a kid and you don't understand what that bad vibe is,
So
it's
you're just
like
scared.
fear.
Yeah, you're just afraid of clowns because clowns, they're just like, you could like, the human body can like read vibes from somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
They're capable of like understanding. I'm not going like aura bull, but like it's like you can understand like how someone else is feeling just by sense because they like act a certain way. So when there's like a miserable man standing in front of you as a child, you're like, this man is dressed scarily. He's got weird hair. He's bald. He's miserable, and I don't know what that means. You're just afraid.
What adult misery is.
So it's just like I gotta get out of here. I gotta get away from this thing immediately.
I think being an anxious child is funny.
Oh yeah, I was one too.
I still never go on like big roller coasters because, you know.
Oh, I've never ridden a
nausea.
I've never ridden a roller coaster in my life. I don't. The closest thing I did was the World of Tomorrow from Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I did, and it was really boring.
I say this a lot, but like I would have never gone on the Tower of Terror again if they had it.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and I could wave to Chris Pratt. I could listen to Cherry Bomb. But I went on an Indiana Jones ride when I was like a little older, and they were like, "You're old enough to go on this ride." Also, I was a tall child, so I could go on a lot of the rides. Didn't want to though.
Yeah.
But Indiana Jones is super tame. It's just kind of like a shaky car, but the line is really like scary if you don't understand like the jokes of Indiana Jones. But I think what got me was like they have this bit where it's like, don't look into the Empress eyes or you'll die, and like it's obvious because like the guy turns into a skeleton.
Yeah.
And it's a joke.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my god. I'm going to. This ride is gonna kill me.
I'm gonna skeletonize.
It's gonna kill me. Cause like, I don't know. Cause like when you're an anxious child, you know, I know not to look in the Empress eyes. But what if I do?
So that reminded me of a story. Like the thing that I always tell people about when I mention that I was an anxious kid, and they should have like tested me for ADHD or anxiety like a lot sooner, was my babysitter, who was my neighbor, told me that she found Bigfoot in her bathroom, and also Dracula, and I was like 5, and I believed her, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. I wouldn't go to the bathroom, and then she's like, oh, Skylar, if you don't go to the bathroom, Bigfoot's gonna get you out here. And I booked it out out their house, and I just ran away and hid for like an hour. They were like about to call the police. And I was like hiding in my backyard behind like a bunch of boxes.
This is the childhood trauma episode.
It was like everybody. I mean, I could talk about like something even worse that happened that was like actually like trauma inducing, but I shouldn't do that.
That's why like I don't like when people play pranks on kids, but that video of
I'm calling the boogeyman.
Just how she says it, like, I'm calling the boogeyman.
I'm calling him.
Yeah, eat her toes, cause she's bad. I got scared. Did Santa ever come around in a fire truck in your town during Christmas?
I lived in like a suburb that was like a complete square that like went back out to like a main road, so no.
So he would come around in
a fire truck. I've heard. I've heard about that though.
And I was asleep, and I think we like moved there, and my parents also didn't know, so they were like excited. So I woke up, sirens, lights, my family's screaming for me. And I come down, I think the house is burning down. And I'm like sobbing. I think my parents are fucking dead. And there's like, look, it's just Santa. I'm like, okay. And they gave me a fucking candy cane. I was like, okay.
Okay. Ugh. That's funny. I'm trying to think, like, any, like, other traumatizing childhood moments I had.
My family pretended to leave.
Oh, God.
They, like, drove out of the driveway, left me in the garage, and I just, like, screamed and cried until they came back.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why they did that.
I specifically remember, you know those, like, memes online of, like, when you, like, become, like,
yeah.
when you're, like, 4 years old and you, like, realize the universe and, like, that you're alive? I had that moment, and then I had, like, an immediate second moment where I went, like, full, like, confusion. So I was, like, 8 years old, and I became, like, my entire world actualized around me, and I started, like, questioning the universe.
Yeah.
And I was, like, talking to my babysitter, and she, like, bent down, and her, like, tits were kind of out of her shirt. And I was, like, staring directly at them. And she's like, Skylar! And she, like, lifts herself up, and I'm like, what do those do? What purpose do they serve? I looked at her, and she was, like, bright red. And I was like, she's like 16, I was like 8. And I was like, what purpose do these serve? Why do you have those and I don't?
2 thoughts. One is Percy. The other is young Sheldon. And I think I'm just calling you autistic.
Because I like this is like such a vivid memory in my mind, because I remember like staring at her tits and I didn't find any sort of like sexual arousement. I was just confused why she had them and I didn't.
Yeah.
And it was funny. I
remember when I was little, I would like play with this fucking I don't even remember what family member it was. But I was like playing with this baby. And it was time for it to feed. So it went under like the blanket for breastfeeding. And I tried to go under the blanket to keep playing with it. And they're like, no, Shelby! I was like, okay.
Okay.
I'll just play out here, I guess.
I don't know why children are so funny to me.
Children are really funny.
I
went to gay prom, and there was like a fucking 2-year-old running around because I think it was like the DJ's kid. And I had more fun with that kid than anyone else.
Kids at parties are so funny.
Yeah. He would like run really fast and like fucking fall on his face.
I was gonna say something, but my cat distracted me by petting me. Petting me?
Cat action.
Cat action. My cat's petting me. No, I just, like, kids are the funniest thing ever sometimes. Like, sometimes they're awful, but, like, I have more good memories of children than I do bad.
Yeah.
Like, I'll meet a child, and they'll say the funniest thing ever to me, and I'll be like, this is amazing. This is a moment I'll remember for the rest of my life. I had this moment, with Ash, where we were in a GameStop, like, looking at games, and this dapper little kid walks up. He's, like, dripped out. He's wearing, like, overalls, and he's got, like a plaid shirt on underneath, and he's got, like, glasses on. He's got, like, the nice shoes, and, like, his family came from, like, a function. And, like, as a reward for whatever function that was, they were buying him a game. And he was, like, talking to himself in this way that was, like, adorable to us. He's like, I don't know if I want Splatoon 2. And he was like pondering it, and like, but he said it was like this cute childlike way, but he was doing that exactly. He was like acting all intelligent, and I was like, my brain was like, Splatoon 3 had just come out, and I was like, no, the kid can't buy Splatoon 2. Skylar, I don't care if you're gonna embarrass yourself, you gotta tell him. And I was like, I bent down next to him, and I'm like, hey bud, Splatoon 3 just came out, and it's the same price as Splatoon 2, and it has more stuff, and you'll be able to play with more people. And he looks at me, and he's like, thank you. And I was like, ah!
He screamed in his face.
Yeah, it was like, duh, duh! But it like, ugh. Kids are wild. I never had, like, being in a relationship is funny because baby fever happens sometimes.
Sometimes.
And then you see, like, so like Ash and I will get like baby fever sometimes, and then like a child will start screaming in the middle of a Mexican restaurant. I'm like, nope, never mind.
No.
Nope, never mind. But even then, it's like we're waiting until like long after we've gotten ourselves settled and had like fun in our life.
Yeah.
Children is like, you're entering the next stage, man. This is like that you don't get to go on and have fun anymore until they're like 10.
Mm-hmm. I think for some reason, sometimes it helps to see like parenting TikToks, and it's like, man, maybe there is hope for the universe.
Yeah.
People are actually being fucking nice to their kids. But sometimes I make sure to make a note of it in case I have kids. It's like, I'm not going, but just in case.
Just in case.
I think I'd probably just adopt like older kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fuck with babies. Babies are funny, but like they got like goop. Get out of here.
It's like I want to have one of my own. I want to have a little me.
Yeah.
It's like this is I gotta have a cloned Juju.
Clone. What?
Question mark. But I need like a little me to do funny things. That kid's gonna be like messed up, man.
Yeah, that's the big reason why a lot of Disney don't want to. I know for some reason I know a lot of parents, and their kids are fucked up, but it's a good fucked up.
Yeah.
Some kids are fucked up, but it's not because of the parent stuff, it's just other shit.
Yeah.
But they it's just really funny to like see parents' influence on them. It's like, do not let these bitches have kids.
Like a lot of mental illnesses are like hereditary. Like my mom has depression and anxiety, and I got depression and anxiety from a really early age, but I didn't get diagnosed with it until I was 18, so that was cool. Mm-hmm. But if Ash and I both had a child with our various mental illnesses, God forbid what happens to that child.
I like
the mental illness.
I like people realizing that their dad is autistic.
Yeah. Okay, so I've realized that like Ash's family is autism, and my family is ADHD. Fully.
So funny.
My mom will like have the most like ADHD comment ever, where she'll just be like changing things constantly. She's like, I don't have ADHD, and Ash and I just look at each other, and then I go over to I just said okay to like Ash's like message.
Okay.
Speaking of, it has been a minute 15, but I'll finish up this thought and we can end it. But like Ash's family each have like her mom and dad have a dedicated shelf to like swag. I'm talking about your parents. Would you like to join the podcast? We're about to end it.
I got zucchini.
You got zucchini? Let's go.
I'm gonna make
zucchini.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, zucchini.
Ladies and gentlemen, zucchini on the podcast. But they both have like, well, Ash's mother has a dedicated shelf to supernatural merchandise.
Let's go.
And her dad is planning to get a collective shelf of Cobra Kai merchandise.
Do you want a supernatural Funko Pop?
Which one?
I have a normal size Sam one, and then I got a little Castiel
Look,
Funko Pop.
Ash
It broke
just
off.
Ash just bought that.
Yeah.
For
it
their
broke
mom.
immediately.
That's hilarious.
Both of them were gifts. All of the Funko Pops I own are gifts.
Yeah, me too. I only have a Luffy that Ash got from a anime blind box a while back. What are you looking
I
for?
have a Gunther, and I have like a rainbow, like gay Tina from Bob's Burgers.
Then I have like a Kid Goku.
Kid Goku.
Kid Goku of the little thing. But I think it's been an hour and 15 minutes, Shelby. I've been holding it a pee for like 30 minutes.
The Funko Pops ruined it.
The Funko Pops, a good note to end on. And
Join
that's
us next time.
join us next time where we talk about my urethra.
Yeah, baby.
I just look from Ash in the mirror. All right, thank you everybody for joining this episode of the podcast.
Thank you.
It's time for us to go. See you in the episode 4 if we ever record it. Bye.
Bye.